Motorcycle Madhouse and the Biker Angle over on YouTube. If you're looking for up-to-date biker news, then Insane Throttle is the place to be. Daily editorials and news that is dedicated to the biker scene. Come on over and join the #1 internet biker news site at harley-liberty.com. Or come on over to the Insane Throttle's new YouTube channel for the Biker Angle, hosted by myself.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on iHeartRadio.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari. Hop on over and check out our new YouTube channel where you can hear Motorcycle Madhouse and watch the Biker Angle. You can look up the new channel by going to our website, harley-liberty.com, or Insane Throttle Biker News in the YouTube channel search bar. Don't forget to have that prospect hit the subscribe button and that bell in the upper right hand corner so you will always be up to date with the new channel content.
Hey riders, this is little brother Trucker from Stormkicker, and you're listening to Hollywood on Motorcycle Madhouse. Want to hear more of iTunes? Head on over to stormkicker.com, and don't forget, ride on.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari, host of the popular Biker Angle on YouTube and Motorcycle Madhouse's radio podcast on iHeartRadio. I like to invite everyone to check out my new books, The New Age of Biking and Brotherhood, and the #1 new release in the transportation history category, Iron Order Motorcycle Club, the year that changed the motorcycle club scene. You will get a no-nonsense look at the current happenings in the scene. Both titles are available on paperback and Kindle through all major retailers, as well as an audio version of both of the books on Insane Throttle Publishing. Rock on!
Motorcycle Madhouse with James Hollywood Machikari.
Yep, good to go.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari, and you want to know how you can support the channel? Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every time a new video gets downloaded.
You're about to witness a seismic event. Now, let the party begin.
Your healthy radio addiction starts now.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on iHeartRadio.
And welcome everyone to the show. How you doing on this fine hump day? And hopefully you're doing what it's supposed to be doing. You're out there humping. Today we got a great show for you today. We got Dave Walters, who does a lot of our history stuff that's going to be coming on the show. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of history, racing, flat track, some club history going all the way back to Yonkers MC, 13 Rebels, all the good stuff in that. And we're also going to be talking about some of the places I'm going to be going. And to bring that up to you, this month in Michigan area, I will be at the Michigan A-Bay 2019 seminar in Lansing, Michigan, January 19th at the Ramada. So if you're in Michigan, come up there and come see me, man. Even if you're not an A-Bay member in Michigan, come up anyway. We'll sign you up, man. You got to get involved with A-Bay because everybody knows if you're in this community, you got to be in A-Bay, man, because they do some hell of a lot of good stuff for us all, and we know they can party, let me tell you. And yesterday, man, I'm going to apologize for the video. I watched it, and it was like, damn, man, I was off kilter after that break. I think I was smoking too much of brass knuckles, man. This new Blue Dreams, man, holy cow, let me tell you. If you haven't seen God, you will believe in him after you smoke this stuff. But, we got Dave Walters coming on, and he was the one who actually did the piece on the Chosen Few, and he also does a lot of the pieces on the dirt track racers. One of the things that Dave really likes doing is the flat track stuff. And man, and is this guy an encyclopedia, let me tell you. You know, him and Good Time Charlie, you know, I love with Good Time Charlie over at BIC Radio. He calls it motorcyclism, and let me tell you, it's motorcyclism. So, but these guys, they really know the history, and it's great to know your history if you're a biker, where you come from, where it's all started out, you know, going all the way back to, one of the oldest clubs started in the 1800s as a bicycle club. But a lot of these clubs started out with the manufacturers, and, you know, they used to have what you can see today is like a hog group, or the Indians now have a new one, the Indian Riders group. So it's a lot of the manufacturer orientated type of stuff that you see going on. And with the hog groups, you know, I really like hog stuff, man, because it gives people a chance to get out there, congregate, party a little bit. You know, they don't party as much as I would like, but, you know, that's what the A-Bait's there for. But, you know, that goes all the way back to the early days of motorcycling and stuff like that. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, and we're just going to wait for Dave to come on board. And let's check out who's in the chat room. We got Aunt Norse, Greg, EOTW, and it is a Goof Troop too, man. Hey, how you doing, Ironhead? Miss Ironhead out there, hopefully. And happy New Year's to everybody. I hope you guys haven't broke your New Year's resolution. I did a minute after damn freaking the New Year started. You know, you always find it hard to keep them damn things. But, you know, what would we do without motorcycles, man? You know, in the last piece, you know, one of the last films I talked about how the motorcycle brought us all together, and, you know, it brings all types of walks of life together. You know, yeah, we have our different cliques and stuff like that, but what else? You know, that's life. You know, that's the way it is. But the one thing that remains consistent is the motorcycle. You know, you got to ask yourself sometimes, and I ask a lot of people, and a lot of people ask me, why did I become a biker in the first place, or what got me interested in being a biker? And I've told this story a million times where I grew up. You know, I was 7 years old. I lived on a, you know, back then in Chicago, it was a real tight-knit community. And everybody knew everybody. Basically, back then, I don't even know if these kids would survive back then, because if you screwed up back in the day, not only would your parents whip your ass, but your neighbors would whip that ass, send you home to get another ass whooping. So that's how close we were back then. And with that was, you know, two bikers. You know, they were club members, you know, and seeing that as a kid, you know, we all used to ride around on our, Schwinn's Diamond. I had a Diamondback, but, you know, you went out there, you practiced being, you know, ride-free biker shit, and you see them pull up on those Harleys, the sound of those Harleys, and the way they acted, freedom and all that stuff, that's what got me into it. Yeah, I was kind of a late starter type of deal. After that, you know, going through the street shit, but I eventually came right back around, and, you know, that's what got me into it was the freedom, the brotherhood, the partying. You know, we can't forget that. Here I am, 45 years old, still love that partying. So that's what I'm looking forward to come January 19th over at the Ramada with A-Bay, because you know what? According to Hot Rod, they partying over there, man. So you know what? I'm there. So if you're there, come on by. You'll love it. You know, it's a big regional type of thing. You know, basically, I don't know the rules, but hey, come see me. Also, I will be at I actually going to be covering the live show at the 35th annual Motorcycle Expo in St. Charles. I got a big full boat going on with appearances this year, everywhere from like I said, Michigan. You got I'm going to be out at Little Sturgis Rally in Kentucky and Hog Rock and all that kind of stuff. And people ask all the time, how can they get me out to your event and stuff like that? All you have to do is email info@insanethrottlebikernews.com, and I'll be able to tell you where I'm going to be and all that kind of good stuff. But let me email Dave here, because I'm like rocking on here. So let's see here. Call in, Dave. Just texted him and all that. So how's everybody doing out there? You guys looking forward to, and also we got the studio hotline that you will be able to call in after Dave. Thanks for those YouTube live super chats. Thank you, Dan, for that. As far as, and people ask me what the YouTube live super chat is. All you do is hit that dollar symbol down there. You can donate whatever you want. And what goes into that, we got somebody coming in. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How you doing, Dave? We got Dave Walters on. How's your New Year's going, buddy?
I'm good. What's that?
How's your New Year's going?
Good. How was yours?
Man, it was pretty good, man. I was kind of laid back and stuff like that. But it's going off strong, man. We got a lot of bookings going on right now, and it's looking good.
I see that. You put up new stuff all the time.
Man, I'm getting freaking swamped here, man. It's like, holy shit. My bike's going to have all kinds of miles on it this year.
Where's your Mama Tried press pass? They better be sending that to you soon. I want to see you out there for that.
You know what? I'm actually going you know what? I put in for the press pass. It's funny. I got my press pass for the Progressive show, the biggest one in the country, and I'm still waiting on Mama Tried.
I mean, those smaller shows, they move a little slower, I guess.
Man, they running that turtle freaking length, man. I'm telling you, because Mama Tried, I haven't been to that one yet, and I love to do it. Even if it ain't a live show from there, just going there and covering it and stuff would be cool.
Oh, yeah, all the builders that come in there, the racers, they got Flat Out Friday the night before. All the vendors and the promoters that come out there, guys like Simpson comes out there and Rusty Butcher comes out there. You got all the pre-parties going on and all the post-parties going on. You get the Harley Museum putting on events. It's a hell of a time.
Right, rock on, man. Who do they got coming out this year? Do you know?
I think some of the unknown guys will be doing some races. Rusty Butcher usually shows up. I actually have a buddy from up this way that got into one of the classes, so he's going to race. So we're going to go down there and support him on Flat Out Friday. And then other than that, looking and checking out, they haven't released any of the. They have a list on their website of like what builders they've invited and vendors and stuff like that, and that's not out yet either. So hopefully that'll be coming out soon.
Well, hopefully they can get that shit together, man, because they need to send my press pass over. Because, like I said, I got the Progressive over in Rosemont. All I have to do is walk up the door, get my press pass, and I'm ready to go over there, man. It's like, what the hell, you guys freaking turtles? You know what? You know what it is. You know what it is. I know what it is. Why I haven't got my press pass yet, and that's because you know what? Your Packers got their ass kicked. And the Bears, we're going to kick the shit out of Philadelphia this year. And, they're mad at me because I'm from Chicago.
That's probably what it is. Although I'm not a Bears fan, I'm not an Eagles fan. Nick Foles, something about Nick Foles in the playoffs is scary. I don't know. The guy's like dead half the season. All of a sudden he rises in December and just carries the Eagles. I don't know. It's a good game.
Well, you know what? I hope the hell that the Patriots don't get into it, because I'm getting sick of seeing the Patriots in the damn Super Bowl.
I don't know. People are saying they might not. Tom's stats were down. I think he only threw like 27 touchdowns this year versus what he normally does. They say Gronkowski looks slow. Maybe he's banged up. Maybe he's injured. It might not be their year.
Right. Well,
Josh Gordon just got suspended, I think, until like the next millennium. So
right. Well, how do you feel, man? Big Kaz put his video out for you, man. Kaz is the man, ain't he?
Man, that was so cool to see somebody giving some recognition and stuff like that, giving a shout out and enjoying what we put together. Obviously, I write some stuff, written some articles for you, and you're cool enough to post them on there and not tell me they suck. But to see somebody else that's not, that's outside of that group putting it out there and giving a shout out, that's very cool to see that somebody else likes it. And I think, like I said, out of all the articles that I've written for you and stuff, I think this one or Tom Fugle is probably one of my favorites.
Right. Well, you know what? I really like how you captured. It's Father Ricks. Am I correct?
Yeah, I called him the Father. Yeah.
You know what? It was the inspiration. You know, personally, I love him because he's from Chi-Town, but you know what he had to go through in the early days to set up that club, or just being in that era alone is inspirational, and how he handled everything. I love the stories of the Sunday bar or the Sunday barbecues and stuff like that with the neighborhood, and you know. A lot of people don't understand when a motorcycle club comes into town or in your neighborhood, it's not only safer, but they do really get involved in the neighborhood. They get real tight-knit with the neighborhood, and they make it their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's like owning your own home. That's your home, and I don't go out on my front porch, and I'm assuming you don't go out on your front porch and just take a shit off your porch. And you know, it's the same thing. They wanna keep up a nice area where they're living, where they're conducting their get-togethers, where their clubhouse is at. They want to keep that area nice. Why would they just shit on it and trash on it and stuff like that? And I think, you know, the article really highlights some of the great stuff that he did in the community, having the blues and the barbecue on the weekends. There was somebody was telling me about an old member. His name was I think like Madhouse Buddy, wasn't it? And he would play for everybody. He was like a jazz musician, and he really loved it. And he had his own setup, and he would set up, and people could come from the neighborhood and drop in. They would like watch their kids while they went to job interviews so they could better themselves, so they could make the entire neighborhood better. And I think that's something that gets lost when you're watching the History Channel or whatever, and these sensationalized shows come on. You lose that aspect of that. A lot of what goes on.
Right. Well, you know what you're talking about is true to form, man, because, you know, even on the south side of Chicago where, you know, you find a lot of the clubhouses, yeah, it's like a third world country out there, but those blocks that those clubhouses are on, it's mint, it's pristine, and you really don't find any troubles out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're talking about a place where people were comfortable asking, you know, obviously they're friends, it's not a stranger. You know, you've known these people in your community and saying, hey, you know, would you mind watching my son or my daughter for an hour while I go up the street and have this job interview that's going to, you know, put clothes on their back or food in their stomachs. And I like reading those kind of stories, and it's cool to get a chance to write about them. Right.
Well, you know what? You've done a lot of good writing, man. Well, superb writing, man. Your history's up there with Good Time Charlie over at BIC. And
no. He's got me by football fields yet.
You're getting there, man. But Good Time Charlie, like I said, that guy can, you know what? He's an encyclopedia for the bikers and stuff. But he's probably getting there.
Stuff, and I'll know.
Well, you know, one of your favorite things that you turned me on to was not only because we did stuff with Yonkers and 13 Rebels, and I think we can start there because, you know, today's segment's about the history of motorcycle. We all know about, Harley Davidson, Indy, and how they got going, but there was a lot of other models out there that, you know, fell to the wayside because of, you know, competition and stuff. But the Yonkers and the 13 Rebels have been around forever.
You know, I think a lot of those old clubs. You see, I was reading a thing just yesterday. The Moonshiners MC out there. They have a chap out in California that was doing some races. I think it was at the Born Free show, and the Moonshiners. The Compton Moonshiners back in the day, and the 13 Rebels and the Sharks and the Bruce Fighters and stuff like that, and they used to all race and everything else. And so to see clubs like that, like the Moonshiners at the Born Free show, still getting in and racing. You see guys like the 13 Rebels and the Bruce Fighters and whatnot. They just had their race out on the East Coast there in North Carolina. That was awesome to see, and a real cool throwback out in this field. And they raced and partied and camped, and I love seeing that kind of stuff and seeing it, come back and seeing how you mentioned some of these old models and seeing how they tie into the club scene of the racing scene. And you think about when Crocker was about to go under and who saved Crocker, and it was Jack Lilly's a member of the Bruce Fighters, and then seeing how kind of this all ties in.
Right, right. Well, you're starting to see it. You know what? History does repeat itself because me going through as I did in the biker scene, man, flat track and, well, hill climbs were always my favorite thing. And, you know, it died down during the early 2000s, but it's really starting to make a comeback now. And what a lot of people don't understand was the hill climbs and the flat tracks, the racing was what brought all the bikers together in the old days. Because in the old days, it wasn't about, you know, what's on TV or the internet. No, you actually had to go out there and talk with people and party with people. And boy, could they throw a party at them old events.
You know, and again, a lot of that stuff is when you talk about maybe territory and these kind of things is outside of my purview. It's outside of my expertise. It's outside of my lane. Like, it's not my business, and I don't need to comment on that. But, like, you look at what's going on now and the kind of resurgence, if you will, of some of the Wild Ones rallies that, like, the Harley Museum puts on, and kind of the vintage biker games and the racings and the hill climbs and the Jet Pine Gypsies and kind of some of these older clubs doing racing stuff and making it more, you know, they might have been doing it kind of for themselves, but now they're making it public again so more people can get into it. You know, maybe that really is kind of that bridge and that kind of that olive branch, if you will, to keep the peace and to say, hey, you know, we have enough issues of law enforcement or whatever breathing down our necks for dumb shit. Let's get out there and just have a good time. Let's just be competitive on the race field and, you know, on the flat track or on the hill climb and don't worry about that other stuff. Is that sort of utopian thing ever going to actually happen all over the world? No, of course not. We're always going to have quarrels and beefs and stuff like that. But I think, you know, you're really seeing something that can take hold and move this out of a sort of law enforcement shadow into this is guys getting down and like you said, partying and having a good time and show me what you get, you know, show me what you got on the track.
Right, right. Well, you know what? A lot of people don't understand where a lot of the clubs came from was these racing teams. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like, California obviously was a huge part of it. You know, soldiers are coming back, even pre-World War II. You know, looking at the guys coming back in the late teens, early 20s from World War I and stuff like that. What do you do when you come back from war? Like, you need something that gets your blood pumping. Like, coming home and raising your family is a good and great thing to do, but you still want to find some of that excitement. And I think that's kind of what those guys were looking for when they came home after both World Wars. And that's why you see such like an iconic boom of clubs following those things. And the same with, you know, Vietnam. I think the era that you get of clubs coming out of Vietnam was a little bit different, but I think it ties into when World War I and World War II vets came home. It was this feel-good, ticker tape parade. We love you. Everything is crazy. Vietnam vets came home, and it wasn't that. They definitely got, you know, the shaft, and I think you kind of see that in the reflection maybe of some of the attitude of guys getting on bike, and rightfully so. I think you can just kind of tell there's just a little bit of difference in those eras. And with guys like myself, you know, we come home now from Iraq and Afghanistan, and we get obviously a much better reception than Vietnam vets got, but maybe not quite the same love that the greatest generation got in the World War I vets and stuff like that. So we're seeing guys like myself, we're kind of taking off and running with it and maybe trying to get back to some of the roots. But, you know, those early clubs, you look at it's California alone. Like I said, you know, you talk about the 13 Rebels, the Blues Fighters, you know, the Galloping Goose came out of there, the Compton Moonshiners, the Sharks. I mean, you know, you have the Pasadena Motorcycle Club, San Francisco. We talked before about, you know, the San Francisco Motorcycle Club, who the rumor is, and obviously you can't corroborate the rumor, but in the San Francisco earthquake, they were putting on a dance, and then they kept dancing through the earthquake and didn't even realize what was going on. I have no idea if that story is true, but I always thought that was a cool story to hear.
Well, the San Francisco MC, that's what, 1903, 1904? Am I off on that?
Yeah, right, no, right around that. So when you talk about in America, so like overseas, London saw the very first motorcycle club in 1900, 1901, something like that. And then obviously you have Yonkers, you have Oakland, Pasadena, San Francisco, all right around 1903, 1906, right around there. Portsmouth, the Motorcycle Club in Ohio was close on their heels. there was one down in Indiana, that's the Fort Wayne Motorcycle Club or something close to that. I could be off on that last one. So, like, some of these very early clubs, stuff like that. And Harley was 5 years old.
Right.
Half a decade old at that time.
Well, they actually, one of them started out as a bicycle club, didn't it?
A couple of them did. So George Ellis with Yonkers was he was a bicycle racer. Apparently, the story goes he was a pretty famous bicycle racer. Traveled to Europe and stuff like that, and won some races. Came home, and I guess he just thought it was a lot easier to win races on a motor than it was pedaling. and so he changed it up to a motorcycle club. But obviously, a lot of those bikes were still in that day were still pedal. They were assisted with pedals.
Well, kind of like what does making a resurgence now, man. You're getting some of these engines they put on bikes with them little 1 gallon tanks that can go 150 freaking miles on a gallon. That's kind of like what started out back then.
Yeah, hopefully they probably start on fire a little bit less. You don't have the wick from the tank coming up through your crotch. That's probably a little bit safer.
And another thing,
back then,
you got to really look up to some of them old guys back then, because we're used to the infrastructure we got with the highways and shit. They didn't have that shit back then, man.
No, they didn't have. They were crossing mountains on dirt roads and walking their bikes and everything else because they couldn't find a gas station for another 200 miles, and you only probably got 20 miles on the tank you had. So, yeah, it was a lot different than what we think of today.
They knew how to do some long distance riding, but they had, the meat behind them to do it.
Yeah, and even some of the early pioneers. You look at even a female like Bessie Stringfield. She in the 20s, in the 30s, was flipping a coin onto a map, and then decided, okay, I'm going to ride wherever this coin lands. As a woman and as a black woman, an African American. I think she's from Haiti originally or something like that, and she became known as the motorcycle queen of Miami. But by herself on an old Indian, on a little Indian Scout, she was going coast to coast, and was like one of the first people to do it ever, let alone one of the first females.
Right. And you know what? Back then, the way people looked at females compared to the way they look at them today, it was a lot harder to be a female on a motorcycle back then than it was today.
And the rumor and the story's always been for her that when she got to Miami, they weren't going to let her ride. She couldn't ride in Miami. And she got so tired. Every time she would ride, she would get knocked down, get harassed, get tickets, get impounded, whatever have you, that she went to the police station and the police chief decided that he would check out her skills. So she kind of did a little ride-off and was so impressed that they let her ride in Miami after that. She could ride in the city proper of Miami. So she went out there and she was performing stunts and tricks and cone drives and all this stuff. And like, you know what? Better ride.
Yeah, she's probably better than some of the motorcycle cops back then.
Probably. She had her own. She had her own traveling stunt show and all this stuff that she did. She was married like 7 or 8 times. So she must have had a lot of practice.
Right. Well, going back to the history and stuff like that. Now we're talking about the early days with Yonkers, 13 Rebels. A lot of them still hold their AMA certs, don't they?
Absolutely. 13 Rebels are still AMA. There's one here in Madison. I saw you posted an article up here in Madison, Wisconsin. I think they hold, and it's the Madison Motorcycle Club, AMA certified. They do a big New Year's Day run every year. They've done it for, 50 years now they've been putting it on?
Yeah, it was a 50-year thing. We just got that story up today.
And if I'm not mistaken, they hold AMA charter, I think, number 2 or something like that. So they're pretty historical club.
Right. Now, for those in the audience that don't know what an AMA charter is, you want to explain that to them?
So basically, as a motorcycle club, you would just apply for a charter through the AMA based off of if you're putting on events, if you're hosting races, and then based on kind of what your club is geared toward, the AMA kind of has I don't want to call them stipulations, so that puts out a negative stigma on it, but it has, are you putting on charity events? Are you hosting races? If you're hosting races, how are you certifying officials and this and that, or how are you keeping official time charts and things like that? So depending on kind of what your club is doing is kind of how the AMA looks at certifying your club, and they have a couple of different categories and stuff like that. But then you get approved, you pay your dues to them, just like you would if you were a member of a motorcycle club that wasn't AMA certified. You still pay your dues the same, and they establish a charter number for you.
Right. Now, you know what? Micah just put up the Portsmouth started as a cycling club in 1893.
Yeah, if you ask Portsmouth, they'll actually say they want to be credited sometimes as older than Yonkers. And they have a case if you look at the cycling club aspect of it. They are older. However, the rumor of the story goes, the history books say that Yonkers decided to put a motor on the bike first and beat out Portsmouth. And Portsmouth was still pedaling around Ohio just a little bit longer before they decided to become a motorcycle club. So yeah, absolutely. Portsmouth goes back a little bit further than Yonkers. Yonkers was just the first to decide to say, hey, we're gonna put an engine on this bad boy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, we were talking about the returning vets and stuff, you being one of them, but it does, as you go through history of not only the motorcycle scene and the club scene and stuff like that, if you actually look at it on a timeline, like I was telling everybody earlier, it's real important to know where you came from, what the lifestyle's about and all that, and a lot of stuff will start making sense to you that you might not agree with and blah, blah, blah. But the World War I and the World War II was a different era compared to the Vietnam era, where there was a lot of civil unrest, and there was a reason for them soldiers to be pissed off, if you ask me, during Vietnam. Coming home and people spitting on them and shit. And a lot of people wonder why the MC clubs, some of them became the way they did.
Yeah, I think, you take a lot more of an antisocial approach, a lot more of an us versus them attitude after Vietnam, and understandably so. Just the way that you're received at home is probably going to be a huge dictator on kind of, or a dictation on how you're going to act when you get home. If you're welcome back with parades, and after World War II, we're starting to see things like VA home loans and the GI Bill and stuff like this, and there's a boom of industrial jobs and things like that. When they're coming home, you might be just a little bit more accepting of everyday society, the things around you, versus when you come home from Vietnam, and we're seeing kind of the start of the decline, depending on when you came home from Vietnam, of the auto industry, and we're seeing some oil embargoes, and there's a lot of civil unrest, and jobs are kind of iffy and stuff like that. You might not be that inclined to be, Mr. Sociable on your front porch when you just came home, like you said, coming through the airport, getting spit on, or your uniform kicked, or anything like that. It's definitely going to be a huge impact on kind of your attitude and how you view citizens around you if you come home.
Right. Now, hey, Boy, how you doing? Sinister in the chat room. Ironhead would love to see all the old school shit, hill climbing, flat track racing, hanging together, partying together, most important, riding together, what most of these MCs have forgotten. What do you, attribute to that, Dave?
I don't think they forget. I think we see in the news, obviously the headline is going to be when they fight, when they're mad, when they're doing something bad. That's going to be the news headline. I don't necessarily think that I think there's a lot more behind the scenes that nobody wants to report on. That, and depending on where you live, it's obviously a lot of geographical stuff. I think you see a lot more people getting along and riding and trying to make those inroads. Or maybe, like you talked about, because your experience of having the 90s and stuff like that, where it was much more standoffish and don't cross this line. And I think now we're seeing people kind of maybe coming out of that shell and saying, hey, we're getting nowhere by mad dogging each other and fucking with each other. So maybe let's try something else. Let's try and have a race. Let's try and have a co-run. Let's try and have a get-together. Let's have a sit-down. Let's have a beer. And a lot of times the only difference that we have is geography, and there's really not that much difference between any of us.
Well, exactly. One of the biggest things I would like to see happen in the biker community is, our friends, our cousins, whatever, down south have NASCAR. I'd really like to see dirt track racing become really mainstream, man, because the talent that these riders have is, you can compare it to a NASCAR driver, man. It's even more dangerous if you ask me.
And if they've never been to places like the Springfield Mile or something like that, or even some of the races they do, even some of the AMA, the motocross stuff is starting to become huge and stuff like that. The unknown industry guys, are really starting to hype some of the Monster Energy Series stuff. But like the flat track. I mean, they have some names coming out of there right now that are hope becoming mainstream. I mean, look at some of the the Jared Mees and the Jeffrey Carvers and stuff like that are racing these bikes now. The Indian Wrecking Crew is coming back with the name that they're taking it from Harley, because back in the teens and the 20s, Harley was the Wrecking Crew, and now the Indian's going to be the Wrecking Crew, and all this stuff. So I think, it's a fun kind of revitalization of these rivalries that I think, really will hopefully bring new people to flat track racing.
Right. Well, they're doing a lot of streaming live. Hopefully what I think that's going to bring them more mainstream is not only us bikers need to get off our ass to get to these races again, but get some kind of contract with television, man. Start showing it to the mainstream.
Absolutely, and that's what the Supercross guys have just done. Monster Energy and the Supercross, they just signed with NBC Sports, and so this is going to be the first season that it airs on NBC Sports channel. So I think that's a step in the right direction.
Exactly, but personally,
I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, personally, I love NASCAR and stuff, but I really think that the talent and, the athleticism is a lot more into the flat track racing. Like you said, with Mir and stuff like that, that guy's a freaking, he's Superman on that damn bike.
And there was out at Sturgis last year, there was Brad Baker, the Bullet they call him, and he was in an unfortunate accident that I think has left him partially paralyzed. Still to this day, I think he's trying to walk again, but I don't know if he's going to. You talk about the dangerous aspect of the stuff and what these guys do. So seeing it become more popular so they can get some of that financial stability. That takes it right back to the roots of how dangerous the sport was when these guys used to go around on board tracks and stuff like that, and get impaled by these splinters coming up at their faces and stuff like that.
Right, and the hill climbs, man, that's just a whole different freaking level right there, man. They're climbing freaking hills at 90-degree angles going straight up.
And we should talk about guys, you and I have talked before about guys like A.F. Van Order, who was a board track racer that got, I think he was an eye, or I forget, he was injured, and his wife kind of gave him this ultimatum that you can't do it anymore, you got to do something else. And he became this famous photographer, like one of the first ones to capture motorcycle racing, and he went on to become the president of the Trailblazers MC, which I know we talked a little bit about with when you interviewed the president of the 13 Rebels. That was the national president.
That was the national president.
And he talked about how the Floyd MD, who was one of these famous racers in the hill climb, was a 13 Rebel, and his son Don has taken over as president of the Trailblazers MC. And I think it's really cool to see how it all kind of ties together and stuff like that.
Well, one of the things I think that might help them is getting more into the rally circuits, the big rallies and stuff, having some major events, I think that would bring the bigger rallies back to, how they began and stuff like that, instead of all the commercialization, bring it back to its core where it started out and stuff like that. I think it'd give a bigger leg up.
I think, and I agree, and I think it's hard. I think you run kind of a fine line of the roots and the commercialization. On one hand, you want to see commercialization a little bit so these guys who are doing this stuff can get paid. I'm never going to be a professional hill climber. I'm not good enough, so when I see these guys out doing it, I have respect for that, and I would love for them to be able to make career-sustaining money. And for a lot of them, that's not the case. And so you need a little bit of commercialization. And then sometimes we go too far and we get things like where people don't even want to go to Sturgis anymore because you're paying $12 for a beer and stuff like that. And that's a legitimate right. I think sometimes we get a little bit, it's cool to hate on Sturgis. It's cool to maybe hate on Daytona or something like that because we want to be the popular kids and be the first ones to be everything's too mainstream. But if you look at kind of some of the stuff, I don't want to call it a facelift because they're still charging you $12 for a beer in some places, but Sturgis is starting to get back to, the Jack Pine Gypsies and stuff like that, where, he used to throw the first rallies and get-togethers kind of in his house, and his wife would make sandwiches for all the races. And you're seeing that now, like when they have the flat track races, they have the hill climbs, they have the motocross guys come out there now. And if you get away from downtown, you can see some of that. And so we have this kind of this stigma where we're just going to shit talk Sturgis because it's Sturgis and all the yuppies go there or whatever. Yeah, okay, you have a point. But at the same time, I want to see yuppies spending money because I want to see these guys get paid and make a living. And at the same time, I want to go and watch it because it's good action. And then I like the history that goes. So you do kind of have to wait through a little bit of shit sometimes to see the good stuff.
Right. Now, you brought up Jack Pine Gypsy Tour and stuff like that. Explain that to the people who are in the chat room or are listening worldwide that don't know what Jack Pine Gypsy Tour is.
So the Jack Pine Gypsies were a club, out in Sturgis, South Dakota, and they started the first Sturgis rally. They had kind of the first motorcycle dealership and stuff like that. Pappy Hoyle, he was out there. Was it Indian? Was that his dealership? I want to say it was Indian and not Harley that he had, but I could be wrong. I very much could be wrong in that. But Pappy Hoyle, his Jack Pine Gypsies, stuff like that. They started kind of this get together, and they were going to have these races and these field events and these hill climbs. And like I said, in the early days, they would kind of camp out in back of his shop and his home, and his wife would make like sandwiches for everybody, and that's how they raced. And it grew into just kind of this behemoth that we know as Sturgis today. But if you get back to the roots, and if you see some of the history that's still being put on, and you see the Jack Pine Gypsies are still to this day putting on races, it's cool stuff to see if you get away from the Affliction T-shirts and the Snap Pocket jeans and check out some of that historical stuff.
Snap Pocket jeans. You got me on that one, man. You're right. Yuppies and these rude gems, they're going to be everywhere, and that's fine. Let them spend their money on the $12 beers. You can put a 12-pack in your saddlebag, and you can go watch the races, and you can have a great time. You don't need to let somebody else doing something ruin an event for you just because it's a little bit more popular. It's become a little bit too commercialized or something like that. That's the way I look at it. And at the same time, I love, you look at some of these clubs that are putting on kind of some of these, I call them backyard brawls, where they're finding a field that they can rent, and they can race, and they can camp, and they can party with each other, and that's low key, and it's not high profile, and I love those too. I think you need to have both. I just don't think we need to hate on one or the other. Well, you know what? You bring up a good point there. Just like I was talking about yesterday, one of the most freaking asked questions have to do with motorcycle clubs. And a lot of the people out there don't understand that it's not, being a biker is not about just club stuff, man. It's about going out there, partying, riding your bike, going to these flat track events, these hill climbs, being an independent, doing you, being you. And, I think the motorcycle club subject, it's something because, people, think it comes with some kind of aura or something like that. But again, I think there's more to being a biker than, what everybody wants to ask.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think, bringing it back full circle, we talked about guys coming back from the wars in the 20s and the 40s and stuff like that, and they just wanted a place to be with people that were looking for that adrenaline rush. And you didn't have to be the best mechanic. You didn't have to be the best racer. You had to know how to do something. But you didn't have to be the best. You just had to be there. You had to hang out with the guys. You had to be down for a beer. You had to be, looking for that camaraderie and that kind of adrenaline push. And that was the only requirement. And now I think we're getting back to that. But I think, for a while we kind of lost our ways with how mean can you look and how tough can you be and how much of a dick can you be. And I don't think it has to be that. There's always a time for saddling up or whatever you want to call it and having that faith.
Right.
But it doesn't need to be 24/7. Nobody needs to be. You don't need to be. What is that movie? You don't need to be gangbanging at breakfast. Like you don't need to be pissed off at your Cheerios. Like sometimes
exactly.
It's just who you're gonna be.
Well, it does. It kind of gets like a rerun over here with Motorcycle Madhouse and Throttle and stuff like that, because that's one of the most asked questions is everything to do with the damn club. And it's like I sit here and think it's like, what the hell, man? There's more to life than just that in this, this lifestyle. With me, I don't even wear a vest, man. I just go out there and do me. But,
But if somebody puts on the History Channel that they had a great beer with Hollywood, then nobody's going to tune in. Whether they talk about Hollywood had to clean up a hotel after a shooting and drag a guy out on a bike and all this other stuff, that's going to get viewers, and that's what people want, and that's what they want to see, and that's the only thing then that gets reported in the mainstream. And it really is up to us to say, that's not a correct picture. That might have happened, but here's what happened 9 out of 10 times. Here's what happened 8 out of 10 times. Here's the good shit where a guy like, Madhouse Buddy is playing the blues and making barbecue on a Sunday, or where the sidewalks are cleaned up, where there's no graffiti on this building, or you can drop your kids off here, and we're gonna, you can go to that job interview so you can better yourself, or something like that. That's, all the toy drives that are going on. We didn't steal those toys. We bought them. We got people to donate those toys, and we brought them in on a truck so that you guys could have, Christmas. So that's not going to make National Geographic get viewers.
Right. Well, I'm not just talking about the media. I'm talking about, the people within the community that ride. They're always aspiring for, it's always about, they're always interested in the MC subject, but there's a whole different, area of the lifestyle that if they knew about it or, they went out to experience that, it brings a lot more enjoyment to the freaking lifestyle, if you ask me.
Absolutely. I think it's much more laid back than what people think. If you've never been in it, and if you're not actively in it, and you just kind of get your perception from other people or Facebook or the media or whatever, you're not going to really see what goes on a ground level, and you're missing out on just a lot of simple good stuff.
Well, it used to be all, when I first came in, gas, ass, and grass, man. So hopefully it gets back to that way.
Absolutely. Especially with the way the legalization of it's going and stuff like that. Absolutely. Get back to a little racing and a little grass, like you said.
Oh, you're going to be making runs for the border, man, because Illinois is going to be the next one to freaking, they're already talking about how, not if, when. So we're going to be happy down here in Illinois. But I really appreciate having you on, Dave, and it was a hell of a talk, a lot of good history. I always love talking history with you, man, because you know you got your shit straight, you know what you're talking about.
Well, I never claimed, one of the very first shows I ever heard of yours was somebody saying, you can never call yourself an expert in anything, and I truly believe that. I'm no expert in anything. I just really love it. I have a passion for it. I probably don't know as much as Good Time Charlie's probably forgotten already about motorcycle stuff. That guy is light years ahead of where I'm at. But to see how well the chosen few and Lionel Rick, how that that article took off and was received was awesome. To have somebody like Big Cavs 1%er give it a shout out and that kind of stuff, and to see people enjoying that article and commenting on it, I think it really highlights. Like they called him the father, Ronald Rick, like you said, brotherhood can't have stipulations, and I think that's an awesome quote to end it on.
Exactly, man. Well, I appreciate having you on, man. You're always around with us, and look forward to your next article on Insane.
All right, and we'll be talking soon.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
That was an awesome talk, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you guys want to go ahead and give us a call in, you can. I'll keep the lines open for a couple minutes. We're usually running at the 45-minute mark, so kind of went over that a little bit. But I want to say hi out there. We got Tommy in there. Lori Bell, my girl's in here. Lady Ironhood, Harm, how you doing up there in Canada, my man? John. And Dan, my man. I love Dan, man. He always freaking calls. He texts me. I'm sitting there, eyes of damn horse, and he's sending me pictures and shit. I'm all whacked out of my mind and shit. But Dan, the man. So Ant's in the house as well. But give it a couple minutes. Save the patches, right, Harm? Right now, I believe it's the 8th that they go back to court. You got to remember, there's 3 steps that they have to go to try to get that patch. I don't think the government's going to be able to do it. Yeah, they won round 1, but I don't think it's going to happen. Tonight is more like a Dateline in here. Save the pig taco, I say. Save it. I got to get some shirts made up with that. But yeah, we're going to be having some shirts made up, Motorcycle Madhouse, and I'll be able to get them out out hopefully later on this month. Also, don't forget to visit our sponsors, Dirty Sam Productions, Arcane Rebel Apparel, and we got many more out there. Texas Biker Radio as well. They got a YouTube channel out here. Go visit Big Kaz's channel, as well as BD's and Dimmer. But if that is all for today, and if there's going to be no phone calls today, I really appreciate you guys. Oh, we might have one. You're on air. You're on air.
Yeah, am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Hey, great. Hey, man, I just want to say to everybody, Happy New Year's, man. I hope everybody has a great 2019. And, hey, to all those ladies who are listening to my bullshit chat, it's all just try to be a tough guy shit. My wife pretty much owns me, so that's the way it is.
Are you picking up my girls, man?
No, they're picking on me.
Lori giving you hell in there, man, and Miss Ireland.
Yeah, and so was Aunt. But it's all good, when people talk about, all this stuff about the biker scene and everything I noticed, and I'm by no means like an authority on any of this stuff, but whenever I go, it's just hang out, kick back, we're getting drunk, people are getting high, we're barbecuing, we're having a good fucking time. I'm not even joking, man, I haven't seen 1 ounce of fucking drama, unless I fucking created it, but other than that, it's all fucking just chill, man. Just having a good time. So I don't know what I'm sure there's shit that cracks, like at bars late at night, fuck, it happens, bar fights roll, but it doesn't have to be, bikers. It could be fucking anybody in a bar getting down. I mean,
exactly.
I guess bikers just get the bad press, right?
Right. Well, you know what, man? I'm glad you called in, Dan. Happy New Year and shit like that. This is Dan, man. He's the one who sends me texts and shit when I'm all high fucking with me. But I really appreciate you.
Hey, can I give a big shout out to fucking White Boy Jay for the Chosen Few, man? That dude's pretty cool.
Rock on, man. White Boy Jay, Chosen Few. All right, I'll talk to you. You're on air.
Okay. I saw some stuff on some other sites. One guy's from Asgard, kind of Viking 7 shit. Talking about this biker code or something.
What now?
And, what now?
No, what'd you say?
Hold on just a second. Let me turn this down.
Yeah, make sure you turn it down and get me off the speaker, man, because I can't hear you. Give them hell good there, girls. Lady Ironhead, Lori, and Ant.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Okay. I saw a couple of things on YouTube. One guy calls himself Asgard something. It's like a Viking thing.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about this biker code, how you're supposed to be independent, blah, blah, whatever. And that idiot in the desert, I can't think of his name, giving club guys a hard time. And so I'm listening to him, and I'm thinking, it kind of makes sense, I guess. We're supposed to be independent. We don't give a fuck what people think. And then it occurs to me, I was in the military, and I did give a fuck what my brothers thought about me when I was in the military. And maybe that's the difference that they're not getting.
Well, what I think it is with them, the dum-dums, I call them, especially Chucky Rat. But, you're looking at guys that, you got to start making distinguish here. When you're talking independent, you're independent. And, you start talking about motorcycle clubs, well, you fall under the motorcycle traditions. If you're to, I always hear this argument about, well, we're all about freedom and stuff like that. nobody's trying to take away the freedom. If you're an independent and you do your own thing, nobody's out there trying to tell you to do this or do that or, whatever they're trying to sell. That only comes in with the protocol and the tradition, which, again, has been around 70 years, that when you try to throw on a patch, other than that, motorcycle clubs ain't bugging you.
Yeah, but I guess they're saying don't join a club, be an independent, and I guess initially I kind of agreed with them, but... Well,
you know what, on that point, and that's something that I always tell people, don't join a club, because a motorcycle club, if you're not ready for that type of lifestyle, not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting the motorcycle club. So when I'll tell everybody out there, and I always, the most you want to do is a riding club, because a motorcycle club takes a lot of commitment. And
that's the point I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. If you've had the military experience, you miss that shit. You miss the brotherhood and the commitment. And I've been out for a long time from the military, and the older I get, the more I need it. And so I think that's the disconnect that these guys have. I'm a fucking rebel. Mm. My boss doesn't tell me what to do.
Right. Well, the guys that you mentioned, I know the one. The problem with them is they don't understand the difference between independent and motorcycle club member. It's two different.
That's the point I'm making. Right. I think a lot of these guys are probably from the military. You're okay giving up some of your freedom to your brothers. Mm. Am I missing the point?
Well, what's even funnier is when you're talking about vets, it was the vets that came up with the protocol.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but, I get where you're going at, and with them type of people, you got to take with a grain of salt. One of them couldn't even make it through 2 clubs, one of them being Iron Order, and to go out there and tell people to freaking, I want to see everybody wear their best. You know what's going to get somebody killed because you're crossing over into a different lifestyle.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I'm Jim Bonds, James Bonds on the thing, and you sent me your link for your email so I could ask you a question without going to the whole public. And I love your openness, man. You're a good guy.
I really appreciate it, man, and I appreciate you calling the show and being a supporter of the show, man. You guys keep us going, and I really appreciate it.
Hey, you have a good night.
Thanks, buddy. And, great questions right there. The last one especially, it is funny because you got to start understanding, how can I say it? There is a difference between independent and motorcycle clubs. Nobody in hell, not even an MC member, is going to try to tell you what to do when you're damn independent. You don't wear a patch. You're not trying to act like one and stuff like that. But the traditions, when you cross over, you're going into a different society. And you got to remember that. So the ones that go out there and bitch, hey, they're trying to tell me what I can and cannot wear. Well, you know what? Learn what the hell you're doing, learn your history, learn your lifestyle, and at the very least, if you think you can back that patch up, then go out and do what you got to do, man. That's all I can tell you. But, one thing that Dave said, and I remind everybody all the time, you got to remember Motorcycle Madhouse, Motorcycle Madhouse, because Insane Throttle is a biker news site, but, it's not gospel that comes out of us, man. Shit's different all over the place. I just give, experiences that I went through and stuff like that on air. But, you got to know that this is a biker radio program. This is entertainment. I'm not out there to try to say, hey, this is the way this is or that is or whatever that, you have to be. But there's a lot of people that get that mixed up. So I've been trying to remind people of that. But I know there's been some other callers coming in, and again, I am working on a phone system where we can take it off a board, and that way we can put you on hold and stuff like that. But hey, it's an expensive type of system, so that's what all our donations go for. The YouTube Live and the PayPals and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that soon. But if there isn't any more calls and stuff like that, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight and enjoying the program. If you got any show ideals, send them to me, man. I really need them. That'll keep us going. If you ever want to be on the show, let me know, man, because we're open to everybody being on the show. You don't have to be the movers, shakers, and stuff like that I interviewed on the radio portion of this. This is a whole different thing. This is a live portion. So I really like it when, normal people come on. And yesterday we actually had, a reader's rides and stuff like that. They'll actually be on Friday, so talking about the bike and stuff. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a happy hump day. Hope you hump your asses off, and hope you smoke your brains out. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.